to wish every mother a happy Mother's Day in advance, and we're about to have a conversation on motherhood and modern day motherhood, how to interfuse it with social media, how it feels to be called a mother, and how mothers feel when they are surrounded by children and grandchildren, and again how you feel as a mother when your children spring surprises on you, say on your birthday or a special day like Mother's Day. And then also we'll talk about the difficulty in raising children, especially the modern era of social media where children learn or are influenced by so many things. And there's also at a time where career mothers barely have enough time for their children, and then this is where social media sort of takes over, influence from friends and whatnot. But as we celebrate Mother's Day on Sunday, we are asked what it's like being a mother in a modern day world, or in a world that's ruled by social media. We have great women in the studio to do justice to this topic. We have Reverend Dr. Christy Doe Tete, who is the founder and general overseer of Solid Rock Chapel International. Good morning, Mami.
Good morning.
Greetings. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And then also Agnes Teko Nyamite is also the executive director of the Down Syndrome Ghana Foundation. She is a mother with a special needs child, also a single mother, and she will share her thoughts with us. Also, Memuna Bukari Abdullah is the CEO of Iman Shop Ghana. She is a mom. She is a business owner and a full-time worker as well. She does a lot of interactions on social media, and so she's also at the table with us today to share her thoughts. Also, Apostle Constance A.B. Darko is the president and founder of Grace Impact Ministries, and she's also here to share her thoughts, her experience as a mother, and what to generally expect and how to behave as a mother in the modern day world, or in a world that's ruled by social media. Also at the table is Thelma Taki, who is bringing all the sass and will be asking all the questions.
Or not.
Or not. And so the conversation begins. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. I first want to ask, when you say the word M-O-T-H-E-R, mother or mama or mommy or whatever you want to call it, what does it mean? Auntie Christy, you'd like to take that, please?
Thank you. Sometimes when you hear the mention mother, people think it is only people who have biological children who are qualified to be called mothers. But it's wrong. Some of us don't have biological children, but we have mothered and continue to mother hundreds and thousands of children.
Right.
Today, by the grace of God, I have one special son of mine that I picked from the street. I was going to church one day, and I saw him. He had injured himself. And I said, "What happened to you?" He said, "My pra." Then I gave him money. I said, "Go to the clinic or pharmacy, go and get yourself, treated." Then the following day, I met him again, and I gave him a Bible.
Okay.
And I said, "Come to church." The rest is history. I've schooled him up to nursing training. Today, he lives with me. He's married with 2 children.
Great.
Even though he's schooled as a nurse, he's my house manager. He does what many people cannot do. I'm a mother to him, and so to many, many people. So anybody who stands in your life as a mother figure is a mother to you. Not only those who got pregnant for 9-10 months and gave birth. So mothers are special and unique in many ways. Feel good as a woman when somebody calls you mommy or mother, even if you don't have children of your own. You are blessed to be called a mother.
Okay, Mama Constance, you want to bring your thoughts to this?
Thank you so much. Like Mommy said, she's right. A mother is the female parent of a child.
Yeah.
A mother is a woman who, by virtue of birth, a child, or raising a child who may or not be a biological offspring. The mother, if I take the spelling, the M stands for a mentor. A mother is a mentor. And who is a mentor? A mentor is someone who guides, who supports and advises a beginner. When you take the O, it stands for ordained by God. Nobody chooses a mother. No one can say, I want this one to be my. It's God ordained position.
Right.
And it's a blessing. So as a child, you must appreciate the woman in your life because she's God ordained. And when you take the T, it stands for a trainer. The Bible
Right.
says, train up a child in a way that she should go.
1 years old.
So a mother is a trainer. A mother is a teacher. When you take the H, it stands for helping to nurture and raise a child in such a way that they will fulfill their God-given talent, God-given dreams and purposes. And then when you take the E, enjoying a child by creating the enabling environment through love and sacrifice,
Okay.
supporting them, being their cheerleader, cheering them to get to the height that they desire. And then when you take the E, the R, the role model. A mother is the first role model of every child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A child wants to look like the mother. And so it lies on us to be the best example.
Examples.
And so that is who a mother is.
Thank you, Mama Constance. We
Thank
like
you.
that. We like that. We like that. So, Agnes, for you, who has a child with special needs and is living with this child and is also a single mom, if I ask you to define mother in your own words, who is a mother?
A mother is someone who loves a child, whether she bore the child or not, unconditionally. A mother is one who sacrifices her comfort
Yeah.
for her child. A mother is someone who brings the needs of the child in front of hers. A mother is who fights for the betterment of a child. A mother is one who sacrifices her comfort and pleasure and time for the upkeep of a child.
Whoa, that is deep. So, Agnes, share with us some of the experiences, not the downside, but the upsides of living with a child with special needs, so that people appreciate you and appreciate that these children are part of us. They're just like any other children.
Children with special needs are special gifts from God to us, for us to know who God really is. You know, you have a child and the child develops, go through the milestones like it has to be, and we take it for granted. You give birth to a child and there was neck control, so you think it is normal for a child to gain neck control. But if you have a child with special needs and you have to go the extra mile, put in a lot of effort before the child can obtain the milestones that we take for granted, it tells us that God is so loves us that you sleep and wake up and it's so that you think that it is a routine. But what goes into sleep for you to wake up is so much. That goes for a child with special needs. You have to put in a lot of effort, a lot of money and resources and time to gain what you think it is normal. So bringing up a child with special needs is, for me, tells me who God is, and then to appreciate God the more for the things that we take for granted. They are not for granted at all.
Right. Thank you for that. Maimuna, you're a young woman with a child. You're a business owner, a full-time worker. You interact a lot on social media. If you were to define a mother, would this be similar to these, or you would say something different? Who is a mom?
It will be the same thing they've said, but I would just like to say that being a mom is an honor. It's an honor to be a mom. And being a mom in Islam is like an amana. Amana is something that God has given you and entrusted you to take care of it in an with integrity.
Yeah.
So being a mother doesn't mean that you have to give birth before you become a mother.
Right.
You have to, when you take care of something and nurture it with love and care, you are a mother. Yes.
Right. Is Mama Christie?
Yeah.
In the world that we live in now, I mean, you've lived through a number of decades. You've gone through the rise of camera, video, and now social media is everywhere, and we know you're up with social media. What do you have to say to mothers and social media in modern day times when we put our children up there on social media and our images are everywhere? We've had backlash on social media over the years about people putting their children on there without asking their permission and calling it a human rights issue, opening up their children to a lot of things on social media. Share with us, if you were to advise the young mothers and social media and the aid of social media, what would you say, please?
Social media in itself is not altogether evil or bad, but its usage. And what I will want to advise the young parents right now is that we should be able to update ourselves with the usage of social media. Because if you don't know something, you can't advise somebody on that thing. If you know the effects, good or bad, of social media, then you will teach the young ones that are coming up its dangers and its benefits. Because I'm telling you, this thing called social media, hey, it's crazy. A woman in America, an African, told the son that you've buried yourself too much in your tablet. I'm going to seize the tablet until you get this done at home. And the boy told the mother, if you do it, I'll kill myself. And guess what? That boy killed himself because the mother took the tablet off him. So I believe that education. We shouldn't just expose our children out there to social media because it's good in a way. We have to let them know the consequences of abusing social media, because the end result will be terrible, will be serious. So in as much as social media is good, it's corrupting the youth of today, and we must be aware and be wary on its usage in excess.
Right. Maimuna, you're on social media, say 24 hours. Do you see certain things that raise concerns for you as a mom that probably other mothers are doing on social media that we need to draw attention to? Or is there something that makes you happy or surprises you?
Okay, I would say that social media is good in a way. For instance, it provides us with inspiring content, such as how to raise good parenting skills, right? There are certain pages and mom groups that have been of great help. Especially with young moms like us in this generation. Is hard. It's hard. It's not like the previous generations where a community could raise a child.
Right.
These days it's like you're on your own. So having communities in social media that you can go to check, okay, if my child is behaving like this, how do I act is a good thing. Yes. Just as sometimes you see content like maybe overexposure of the body and stuff that is really bad, and you feel like, no, this shouldn't be happening. It should be censored.
We had one of our own actresses, Evia Pimpolo, and then she put a picture out. It was back and forth, but now we see her totally reformed on social media and doing good. Now, Constance, what are your thoughts about nudity on social media?
I think it's not a good thing.
No.
Our bodies are the temple of the living God, and we need to honor the body. And so going on social media, exposing ourselves is not right. A woman is supposed to keep herself. A mother is a role model. A mother is a mentor. So as a mother, if I go out there portraying nudity, what am I teaching my children? And so it is not right. It is not a good example.
Agnes, back to social media. We've had certain instances and where women have had to hide their children off social media, totally hide their children because of the negative comments and the backlash they get when they even post sometimes updates on how their children are doing, especially this is in reference to a mom with a special needs child. Have you had any of that? Have you had to deal with some negativity on social media because you are vocal about living with a child with special needs?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. Social media is like a two-edged sword. It is good and it is bad. Social media for us as parents whose children have special needs has been very good because you go on it and then you have lessons on physiotherapy, you have lessons on speech and language therapy, occupational therapy on YouTube, which you can watch and then also implement. We have social media also give us the access that parents can join groups, parents can join, and then we can encourage each other. Like you are not alone. There's somebody like you who also has a child with Down syndrome or any kind of disability. But same social media, even if our children go on it, it is dangerous because of predators and cyberbullying. I read on social media sometime about a musician here in Ghana who he was advertising for a product, and then somebody commented that leave it to the young. And then in response to the comment, he literally used the features of a person with Down syndrome to reply. Look at his mumudious face like a trisomy 21 person. And I said that this is a knowledgeable, ignorant person. You know trisomy 21. You know who a person with Down syndrome looks like. But you decided to insult somebody with the features of a person with Down syndrome. And it is sad. It is sad. Our children, I put my child down. I remember sometime when I had an interview with another station, and then I said that I thank God for my child because through her I've known the greatness, and I've appreciated God the more. And she said that you don't know God. You are just speaking. You don't know God. God cannot give you a child like this. It is on social media. So we have the negatives and we have the positives. It depends on you, how you use it, and even how we allow our children to manage, because cyberbullying for our children is intense and immense. They can speak about your child for your child to look like you are not worth anything. You cannot be on social media, and they commit suicide because of cyberbullying. It is terrible.
Okay, so I'm going to throw this to everybody. T, you can also.
I'm listening to the women, Valerie, and you see when you look at it from the perspective of the age of digitalization, and the age that our more experienced mothers grew up in, you see the vast change, and they are just explaining really the complexities of raising a child, transgenerational child. Valerie, you and I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and the kind of things that the mothers have talked about, abuse on social media. We did not have that whilst we were growing up. So to see persons who were raised by the generation without the internet, and for us who are, you know, new moms, rich aunties, and yet to be moms, to learn to navigate these curves is quite intriguing for me. And that's why I've been quiet, because every single one of these women has had the experience of being off social media and then being on, and then trying to handle the abuse that comes with it. Okay. I guess my question is, do you feel that the burden of influence has shifted? Because whereas in the past, the parent or the immediate family would be the only people influencing a child, now it's a global village and everybody has a say. Do you feel the weight of that burden on yourself as mothers?
Yes, I will come in. It's really a weight and a pressure in that when you look at some of the content, as a mother, you may think you are falling short. The social media normally plays the perfect picture. Mm-hmm. But behind the scene, the best part. But behind the scene, the uglies are there, which they don't show. So if you concentrate and feed your mind with what they are showing, and compare to yourself, you may think that you are not doing the best. And it brings, in fact, a lot of stress on parenthood. Pressure.
Because you have to keep up.
Yes. That's what I said. You have to update yourself. If you don't know how to use the phone, how can you educate your child on things to avoid on the phone? Look at our children in the northern region recently insulting the president. And then they said, oh, they didn't know, they saw it on social media, and so they also did that. Maybe the father doesn't even have the kind of phone the children have, and the things that they are learning. So in a way, it's a big and a huge task on parents to keep up with time. I mean, today's time. Yes. Otherwise, they will call you Kolo. You don't know anything.
Yes, because our mothers grew up without phones, right? And for them, work and social life was very separate. But for new moms like Memuna here, who runs, and she did our decor for the Eid celebrations, using her social media platforms also as a working tool, it's not an option for her to leave social media behind. So I'm sure her children are growing up watching her on her screen, using it for the positives. Whereas in your generation, you're thinking it's taking you away from your books, and you should put the screen away and don't learn from these bad people. But there's two sides to that story, and I'm just fascinated by the difference in the age of technology, in this case, not necessarily like biological ages of the women here. I'm just fascinated by that concept. Do you find that you have to raise this awareness with your children when you're looking at social media for nudity, social media, cyberbullying, Auntie Agnes has talked about, and then using social media to spread the gospel in the case of the strong women of God here? Do you find that you need to explain to your children the parameters and what kind of scope they can operate in with their social media space?
Yes, I think that, yes, there has to be rules, right? You can't completely take it out, because even in their generation, it might be worse. And as Mommy said, you have to keep up and know the app and know how to use it, which content to take and which content not to take, so that you'll be able to educate your children well, so that they don't go outside and look for information or someone else that can easily just hand over the device to them, and then they are all over the place looking for information, so that they'll be able to know which information is good for them and which is bad. And I use my page, Iman Shop, to instill good values in children. I come up with, I research and then I post out how parents can instill good values in children. Okay. So yes, somehow social media is very positive. It's a positive place.
Okay, so for somebody like me, I find myself surrounded by close to 6 teenage girls. and they happen to be in the same space at the same time whenever they're on vacation. And so this is me trying to, like, juggle between being the cool mom who knows everything on social
being
media
strict.
and then also trying to be their friend, sort of gauge where they are on social media, and then sometimes trying to hide the surprises when you realize the amount of
Extent of-
content
yeah.
that they are open to. So in this case, Mama Christy and Mama Constance, how do we navigate this? Because it is scary. And so we're going through a page. This is me and these teenage girls. We are going through a page and a pornographic website shows up. It usually shows up like a cookie. It shows up and they happened to know everything about it and why that was trending. And it's like, that's cool in their space. They know about it, but they don't
overload of
interfere. And that's like
information.
real life on social media with real age children. So if you find yourself in a space like this where you're trying to be a cool mom and a stern mom, how do you navigate?
It's a great question. Cool mom,
can I
stern
say
mom.
Yes, please.
Just, I think last week, I saw something on my phone, like a lady dressed in bikini. And I said, Esther, what is this? Was it Esther or I think Ellen? I said, Ellen, meaning, I don't know why this is on your. He said, somebody who is, you are linked with somebody and the person. I said, remove it. I was not ashamed to tell my daughter to remove it because I didn't know how to remove it. So,
Yeah, so
when you are dealing with these kids,
real.
don't be ashamed to let them know you don't know something and learn from them.
okay.
And I also want to add that you have to be very patient with them. If not, they will not come back to you telling you some of the things.
That's a good one.
Because I find that with my son, sometimes when he's telling me something and I want to, like, I'm so upset, and my facial expression alone would make him stop. So I
Okay.
realize that I have to balance it and be very careful. If not, they won't be your best friend to come and
Yeah.
tell you everything.
Yeah.
Yes, I can also add and say that as a mother, the training part is very important. Raising your children and inculcating in them good values is very, very important. When that seed is planted, they are able to overcome some of these biases. Because, with the social media, we have the positive aspect. We get a lot of information and we have a lot of resources available. And so the training part is very important. Let them know the danger of those things.
Yeah.
Instill in them the God-fearing aspect. Because the world is not going back, it's going forward. The social media will become part of us.
That's great.
So we have to instill in them the fear of the Lord.
In an age where, because of the social media space and because of the internet, there are varying opinions, and the children are exposed to all kinds of ways of lives beyond the home. How do you handle the kind of access your child gets to perhaps opposing faiths, opposing opinions on the social media space?
All right. So it's a very good question. Example, like an information or a blogger comes out and say, my child finds himself in a wrong body. Although she's a girl, she feels she's a boy. And then your child is privy to such information. The training comes in again. Let the person know that this is what God has done. This is whom you have been created. So not every information is the truth. You may have information, but is it the right information or the wrong information? It lies on us, the parent, to have certain level of control of the usage of the social media. Remember that we are responsible and we are accountable for the upbringing. We cannot allow social media to train our children. We have the control. God gave children as gifts to us. And any gift given to you, it lies in your hand and you have the responsibility 100% to take good care of the gift. So as a mother, no matter no matter the rise in usage of social media, you are in charge. We must stand our ground, no matter what. We must.
Maybe I'm sure you can relate to this, perhaps on a more personal level, as a woman, first of all, from a minority community, a hijabi wearing, veiling Muslim young woman. And do you also find that with your children, you need to explain certain things to them about why, perhaps when they go into certain spaces, they may face resistance, and that they have to stand firm or explain why is it that they would have to maintain a certain identity?
So I'll just give an example, right? I went to my son's school. It was we had a one-on-one parents meeting, and his teacher came to me and was like, "Mommy, Wumpini said I sneezed, and Wumpini said Alhamdulillah, and I didn't know what it meant, but he kept saying, Mommy, say Alhamdulillah, and Alhamdulillah means thank you God when you sneeze. That's what we say in Islam." So she was really impressed, and she was like, "Mommy, you're doing a good job." And they are allowed to pray or pray in Islam. And she tells me, "Mommy, when they come to school and they are praying, and they go to a Christian school," and she says, "Mommy, when they are praying, we allow them say the prayers in their in Islam, the Islamic way." And so I was really impressed. She was like, "But how do you do it?" I said, "Oh, when they are home, I make sure that I instill in them the values, the Islamic values. So wherever they are, they would always uphold it."
Like Mami said, you are in charge.
Yes. And another thing, one Christian school ordered from me Islamic books. I didn't understand why. And she came back to me and was like, she's providing these resources to her school so that children can understand that there are other faiths. So you are giving them the knowledge that there are other faiths, but you choose, or you have to choose what you want to be. Yes.
Interesting. And Mami Agnes, when you were talking about your special needs child, you talked about abuse that they face. Do you think that we are handling our social media space more responsibly when it comes to abuse? People just attack people they don't understand. And so when it comes to mothers, do you tend to shield, to be more protective and not, expose the child to that world? Because they have to be out there in the space. That's the reality for some people. How do you prepare children for handling abuse online without resorting to what Mama Christy referred to, the insults and the negativity?
For us whose children have special needs, you have to let the child believe in herself, that you are also fearfully and wonderfully made. I tell her every day that, Toda, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, just like me and then your brother. So that when she walks with confidence. She doesn't care what you say. She is that confident girl. And she said that she's a human being. Mommy said that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, and I'm beautiful. Every day I tell her that, Toda, you are beautiful. Whatever she said, the little things she does, there was this cheerleader, I cheer her up, and then she's like confident. Even if she's saying the wrong thing, she says with all the confidence. And then I'll tell her that you don't do it like this, you say it like this. So we have to instill in them that kind of confidence. It all boils off to the parents. And I want to say here that parents who have children with special needs, please accept your children. Accept them. Thank God. And when I started this, I started thanking God for the little progresses my daughter was making. I saw it is blowing up right in my face, and she was doing things that I started thanking God for things that she has not done. One time in her life, she wasn't verbal. She started speaking at 5. And then when she pulls, she's not able to tell me. She does the sign that, so then I'll understand. But if I'm not watching, she just will put her hand in the diaper and then she plays with it. I said, no, you don't have to do this. So I resorted to prayer. I said I was praying to God, don't let this girl do this. And then she does like this, and before you realize, she's putting it in her mouth. I said, God, no. How can somebody behave like this? I started praying. And then it dawned on me that thank God for answered prayer. And then I started thanking God for answered prayer. And before I could say Jack, she started speaking my poo wee wee. And it is interesting.
That's awesome.
You
That's
see?
awesome.
So you have to accept your child just the way she is. It is after acceptance, then you can do all that. You know, children with Down syndrome come with a lot of health challenges. And if you don't accept and put the child through go through all the tests so that you determine or you make sure that my child's eyes are good, her vision is good, her hearing is good, her thyroid is good, her heart, most of them come with a lot of health and heart cardio issues, and then you have to make sure that your child heart is functioning very, very well. If you don't accept, you will not do this, and then you harm the child and harm yourself. So get yourself trained, put yourself in a sound state in your mind so that you can adequately take care of yourself and your child. It is important, and then you build that confidence in the child. You build that confidence in the child. So even if it is cyberbullying, the child is so confident that this is how I am. This is how God made me. You cannot bully me. You cannot push me anywhere, because they also are very interested in social media. My daughter is 12 years. I bought her a tablet and I didn't put internet on it. She wants to go to YouTube and watch cartoons, and there was no internet. She said, Aggie, she calls me Aggie. Aggie, YouTube. And when I wasn't providing YouTube, she smashed it. She smashed the tablet till I can give her YouTube. So whether you like it or not, they will also know social media. They will go on it. So you have to regulate it. Screen time for the child. Teach her where to go and where not to go. And then you educate the child. Put that confidence in the child, and then you are good to go. You are good to go.
Amazing conversation.
Perspective.
Awesome. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, King Calf is going to be having some fun with our mothers here, as we do on GTV Breakfast every Friday. We'll see you after this break.
Every day in the mirror I see a woman, and every time I look in my mind I see that woman, a wonderful woman, an African woman, mother of nature, beautiful woman, beautiful woman. But you're my one vet to say, a wonderful woman, beautiful woman, beautiful woman,
Never Welcome back to the studio. Welcome, King Kav.
Let me do my Adowa vibe.
Never, 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 never.
I come bearing gifts. So, yes, I miss my mama, so don't go there too much. So I have a pick and act schedule I'm going to do right now.
Wow.
Here. So, and I've picked the teams already. So they have to decide amongst themselves who will pick and who act.
Accurate time.
Okay, so the two mamas will go. Mama Christy, Mama Constance. Who is going to pick and who will act?
I'll pick
You
as
pick
you
as you
like.
act. You use seniority on her. So pick. And then she...
I'll open it.
Yes.
Okay.
She shouldn't see you. She shouldn't see
She shouldn't see.
Yes.
Okay.
So how does pick and act work?
So you would have to try and explain to her what she has to do without
Okay.
telling her what to say.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Yes. So now you have to explain to her what she has to do without
Okay.
telling her.
What to say?
So they have to stand.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes.
So she's watching me now.
Yes.
I just say you have to stand.
Scratching.
I like it.
He got it.
So now Team Agnes and Team Lemuna. Team AM. That was Team CC. Now Team AM. Who's speaking? Who acts?
I'll pick.
Don't worry, your time will come. There will be a round too. So you pick and then show her what she has to do without saying it. And then that one will be the judge. Have you seen it? That's it. Yes. So now you have to act it for her to see. Momina, please look at her. That's all. So CC1, AM1. Now you pick and act. So pick and act. All right. Don't let her see it. Let me see. Thelma is the judge. Judge Thelma. Let me see what it is. So I can also scream. Okay. All right.
Feeding baby.
Yeah. Memuna, now you pick and act and show it to Thelma after you've seen it. And Team and Agnes.
I want to see it.
Okay.
She's acting.
No, she's
Go
not
ahead.
act- She's acting.
She's acting.
No, she's acting.
This one.
Okay.
Okay.
Hunger.
No clues. Keep going.
No clues, but this is hard.
It's hard. It's a game. It's a game now.
This one is hard.
Playing games on the phone.
Check. This one.
Try again. Try again.
Memuna, sorry.
Try. Memuna, try.
Can I drop hints? It's something you look for on your phone.
Google. Searching.
What are we searching for? Oh, I think the time is up.
It was hard. Let me see how hard it was. Let me see.
What
Let me
was
see.
it?
Checking the
Let
mail.
me see. What was it?
Checking the mail.
Checking your mail. That was a hard one.
It was
Yeah, I thought it was good.
That was hard.
Let's do one
One
more.
more round. One more round.
Hey, come.
Mama Christy,
But I've acted.
bless me now.
Who did you see me?
Now you can go with her.
Oh, okay.
Don't show it to
Yes,
her.
okay.
No.
Charlie,
What does it say?
Apokronkron.
Are we ready?
Yes, act to her. Act to
We're
her.
ready.
Sick. I'm going to the hospital.
Don't come again.
Now you pick and So
Oh, you
Constance,
got it.
Mama Constance, yes. Give it to Tama. Tama is the lecture commissioner.
See, show it to the screen. Show it to the screen. Hey, don't look.
So let me get that.
Don't show it.
Can I get that?
Yes, you can get that.
Yes, get up.
Jogging, riding, driving.
Sorry for that.
Now you know the
Uh-huh.
And what's
Discipline, caning a child in a school.
Ah!
Caning a child in a school. Walking to school, going to school.
Well done.
You got it.
Thank you very much. Well done. So our mom is speaking and acting. Can I go now? Or let me do what we do.
See.
I'll do what we do. I'll do what we do. You don't know. Pick an act. Pick an act. Pick an act. Pick an act. I'll come down to your level.
Okay.
You want to pass it to the scene.
Okay. You have seen
Okay,
it.
okay,
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Is-
I finished bathing. I'm wearing my towel. I'm wearing a corset. You caned me for not wearing my clothes.
What I say?
No, I don't. Pot-bellied man. No. Come in. A belt,
Yeah.
and I'm wearing my belt.
Buckling.
I'm buckling my belt.
The way she's buckling the belt.
Okay, can I go now?
Let them all
And so, guys, thank you so much. In leaving us, all of you will have a go at this. What would you tell mothers in the modern day world? It doesn't matter if you're new, modern day mom, modern era, you know social media. What would you tell mothers who are living in the world right now?
I would say that our children have special needs, but their emotions are not special. I always say that my daughter has Down syndrome. She has a disability, but her emotions doesn't have any disability. They grow, and the emotion and the feelings is just like any normal child. So the crave for social media is there. They will want to go on social media. So we have to guide them, direct them, and teach them. Most importantly, be very strict on the screen time so that they will not be addicted to social media, to their tablets, to their phones,
Right. Thanks. Thank you.
and then to be confident in themselves.
Confidence. Yes, indeed. Mama Christie.
In 1908, Anna Jarvis started Mother's Day. She's no more. Mother's Day still continues. Find a place in your heart, your Yoko Gali seller, your Wache seller, your Sobolo seller. Show them love. Express love to them and wish them Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Mama Constance.
Yeah, to that mother there that has given up hope on that child, know that you are special to us. Know that that child is coming back home. Know that your investment is not wasted. In the due time, God will cause it to happen. God bless all mothers. Thank you.
Thank you, indeed. Thank you very much, Memuna.
I would like to say that it can be difficult sometimes being a mother. Take one breath at a time and breathe out your worries. I also like to say a big thank you to the supportive partners, like my husband who supported me when I started a full-time job and when I had the idea of Iman Shop Ghana, and encourage all partners and everyone around to support. Thank you.
Yeah. I know I said the last goal, but we seem, when every time is Mother's Day, we seem to forget the mothers who have lost their children, potential mothers who lost their children even before they came to bear. And some people are dealing with it on a daily. Mama Christie and Mama Constance, by a word of encouragement, what would you say to these mothers who are also mothers? They seem to be in the background most of the time.
If you lost your own biological children, maybe through childbirth or they grew up and they died, you must have hope. There are many people out there who still call you mama, mother. Be encouraged. All hope is not lost.
Thank you. And Mama Constance.
Yes, and to that mother there, that woman there, please listen. You may have lost your own, but like women, we put on wigs. We don't, we say it is our hair. So just go there, adopt a child, and fill in that vacuum. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless everybody. Thank you. And this, thank you. Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Happy Mother's Day.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
I never forget.